My name is Norma Miller, and I'm one of the persons who come down here that's proud to be part of this wonderful organization that keep our heritage of great jazz alive through the efforts of the great Louis Armstrong. And to be a part of that, to me, is what's part of my life. It's the most important thing that I could be doing, because we're giving the generations the heritage that Louis Armstrong left us, and I think that's worthwhile to keep that alive. I knew what he meant. I knew what he meant to I knew what he meant to America. He gave our country. He put our art on the map. Prior to that, we were considered a people that weren't cultured. Our talent was considered raw. He made our world acceptable, and it was through the music of jazz that did that. And I'm a product of that music, and I'm proud to be a part of that. That's important because you can do a lot of good through humor. But also the language of dance was a very important thing, because we were fortunate enough to give the world what they didn't have. We gave the world swing. And that's what Louis Armstrong created. He gave us that music that we could dance to. And it was through our dance that we took this dance physically around the world. Prior to that, we didn't have computers. We didn't have television. So we actually had to take the dance and take it around the world and show the world how to do it. And what's gratifying to me at this stage in my life, the world is swinging. And that's what Louis Armstrong did. Most important, because it's the music that evolves to it. Without the music gives us the dance, always. Whether it's like the chicken laid the egg. I mean, what came first? Well, with the music gave us that ability to respond, and that dance became swing because the music was swinging. And now we have a culture, we have a dance, we have a style that prior to that, our dance was more or less very, very structured. They had this thing that they called ballroom, and it had certain rules. Well, swing, you can't set no rules on swing. Swing is what an individual wants to do, and that's what made our music so exceptional. The individual produced the music, and it was the individual that produced the dance. That was most important. That we continue this heritage is very important, because if we do not teach what we did, then it becomes, people don't study the music. You must study the music. So why is it we have so much artists that don't use music? Why is it that we have people that call jazz contemporary? Jazz is not contemporary. Jazz is a beat. Jazz dancing is a beat. And we had originally, it was created by our dancing girls before they were eliminated out of the theater. But that was the dance that created our style of dance, and that was called jazz. Jazz is most important. So what I come here to do is to make sure some of what I know is given to them so that they could remember it. And you must remember it, because if you don't, they'll forget. And they will forget, and we can't allow that. New Orleans is the most important part of the music. You have set a music here. Your food swings. It's what you can, nowhere in the world do you have the food that you have here in New Orleans. Well, why is it that your food is so different? Why does it taste so different? Why is your music so different? You can always recognize New Orleans jazz. You can always taste New Orleans gumbo. You can always taste good old fried chicken. Lord have mercy, it's the most wonderful thing in the world. And that's what I love about New Orleans, because you let nothing get you down here. I mean, you've been hit with everything but the kitchen sink. And New Orleans refused to mire themselves in grief. They're going to have a festival if it ain't nothing but for a hot dog. They'll have a festival for anything. I was here in March. And you had a festival going on called the Fleur de Lindy. They were dancing all over the place. And that spirit just cannot be denied. That's what jazz does. Jazz keep you going even under the worst circumstances. And that's what happened with us, we as a people. Jazz is what kept us going. '90. So I've been here through a few wars. And believe me, I'm as excited today as I was when I was a kid. Everything excites me. And how is that? I mean, I've seen it all, and it never gets tiresome. It's just better and better and better. And I'm just delighted about everything we're doing here. Well, to write a song that they would even want to sing. That I find that exciting. And I just wanted to have a song to my great friend. They called him Louis, but he's Pops to me. And that was just, the words just came. That's what I said. I wrote it just like that. And to hear the wonderful singers join me in that song, well, I'm excited about it. Who knows, I might get a Grammy. Well, at least I got something to talk about. But it was a great feeling. The camp is part of my life. I love coming here and to see that youngsters are sitting there studying with some of the great masters, and you do have great teachers here. And this is something that must always be. We must always teach we almost must teach our kids. And it's what we teach our kids that will develop them into their future. And I think that's most important. We can't have enough Louis Armstrongs in the world. We just have to develop another one, you know.